Valley Forum off Commercial Street in Malden, Massachusetts, for tonight's Sereno Tournament consolation game between the Spartans of St. Mary's and the Harbormen of Hingham High. I'm Mike Abelson alongside Andrew Greenberg. And Andrew, you know, two good teams, kind of at a crossroads. Pretty good measuring stick for both today, after yesterday.
I agree. I think this should be a fairly evenly matched game between these two teams, both looking to get back on the winning side of things after losing in the first round yesterday, both of them to good opponents. St. Mary's of Lynn from the Catholic Central League, Division I, Hingham, Division I Independent.
Both teams harboring Super 8 aspirations, trying to sneak in those, that 7, 8, 9, 10 spot. This game could go a long way, a real long way.
Yeah, Hingham's coming off a losing season last year. First time they hadn't made the tournament in something like 12 or 13 years. You can make a very strong argument over the last decade that Hingham is one of the, if not the premier public school program in Massachusetts, having gone as far as actually winning the Super 8 in 2010. One of only two public schools ever to do that, along with Reading.
Yeah, them, Reading, Burlington, kind of usually Braintree as well, kind of the class of the publics in Massachusetts. It'll be an interesting game, especially considering St. Mary's coming out of a Catholic Central League, which is obscenely difficult this year. Arlington Catholic, Austin Prep, who you'll see later today against Malden Catholic. Bishop Fenwick's shown some flashes, so it'll be a really interesting matchup for both. I'm really excited to see it. I'm really excited. They always bring good hockey. They always bring good games.
Yeah, it should be, and the Harbormen are going to be equally as tested playing the Division I independent schedule. They have the flexibility to really test themselves over the course of the year. If you take a look over their schedule, basically you name who's who of the top high school teams in Massachusetts, chances are Hingham has them somewhere on their schedule.
Tony Messina has shown he'll go any place, anywhere, any day of the week. He will challenge anybody.
Just like Garrett Reagan before him.
So we have the starting lineups now. Mark Zampanti, sophomore from Winthrop, will be starting at defense for St. Mary's. So it's Max McKay, a freshman from Linfield. Eric Pedro, sophomore, also from Lynn, will be starting up front. Mike Zampanti, the PC High transfer from Winthrop, will be starting up front. And Dante Marabito, only a sophomore who's been producing since he walked into school there.
Marabito played a very strong game yesterday against Austin Prep.
He's a very good player. And across the way, Hingham wearing their white trimmed in red today.
One player to keep an eye on here is the captain, number 5, Big Mike Selesky for Hingham. Yesterday against Malden Catholic, he had a steady diet of Malden Catholic star Matt Philippe. Coach Lee for St. Mary's splits his 2 top offensive players in Mirabito and Sean McBurney up on opposite lines. It's going to be interesting to see which line Selesky regularly plays against.
Well, he's opening up the game against Mirabito, so that might be a sign that he's going to stick that way. But of course, if the terms of the game dictate, I'm sure Tony will change it up a bit, as he is wont to do.
Very possibly, and as the home coach, he's going to have the advantage of last change.
Yeah, that will definitely be an advantage for him. So starting it off will be Hingham wearing their white with red accents going right to left across your monitor, and St. Mary's wearing this deliciously colored navy with faded gold and white number going left to right. And it'll be Area and Mirabito on the opening draw. And we are away as St. Mary's wins the draw back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin up ahead, goes from Mirabito, lost to Zaleski, goes back around, Borders stops it as Tony comes to pick it up. Puck in the St. Mary's defensive end behind the goal line. Zampanti wraps it around, looking for Pedro. Can't clear it out. Zampanti loses it. Shea scoops it up, dumps it back around to Egan. Egan with no help as Hingham is mid-change, taken away by Tony. Up come the Spartans. They lose it in the neutral zone. Hingham so far bringing a very solid forecheck as Matt DeMellis steals it away right by the red line. Right by the boards in front of us they go. Comes out to Tony. Tony up ahead, and St. Mary's finally able to dump it in after nearly a minute in their own end. Fighting along the end boards, John Powers with it, cycles it around up front, loses it, DeMellis steals it, and here comes DeMellis up over the blue line. DeMellis backhand, Borders needs to kick out the pad to get it, and St. Mary's comes up 3-on-2, led by Sean McBurney. McBurney dumps it into the corner for Yiankopoulos. Yiankopoulos can't get there, and it goes back to Hingham. Puck free now, Yiankopoulos to McBurney, loses it away to Egan. Egan, oh my, McBurney came to deliver a hit and hit his own guy.
Yeah, Yiankopoulos took the worst of that one for sure.
Yeah, that did not go as planned for St. Mary's. So Powers with it now.
Right off the bat, one quality scoring opportunity.
Yeah, I'm sure Tony will be happy about that as Hingham wins the draw. Bring it up ahead. Jeff Gordon looking for a stretch, couldn't get it. Puck over in front of the St. Mary's bench. Taken away there by Jack Forbes, who puts it on cage. And Borders covers as the players, I'm sure, are just discussing the weather in front of the net right there.
Well, the Hingham player did take a little bit of an extra poke at Borders, the goalie there, but as the coaches tell you, until you hear the whistle, you keep going.
Yep, absolutely. Typical Hingham team, and I say that in a very good way.
Yeah, they've always valued tenacity over the years.
So Hingham with another face-off win. Forbes tries wrapping it back around. Stolen away there by McLaughlin. Puck in the corner, taken up there by Mirabito. Mirabito up ahead to Zampanti. Numbers if they hurry. Zampanti tries to outmuscle Selesky. Nothing doing there. Zampanti gets it back behind. Comes out in front. They're hacking away at it. It's still loose. Hingham able to clear it off the line. Look at Eric Pedro had the best chance at it, but nothing doing there for the Spartans. So Pedro again clears it in, gets it on frame. Register that as a shot on goal. Ayler able to catch it up top. Hit from behind, and that is a silly play there by Billy McNally, who cross-checks Dante Mirabito to the ice, so he'll be sitting. Looked like he didn't really need to make that hit right there.
Probably not, but it's not surprising to see Mirabito right in the middle of the play. He was probably St. Mary's most recognizable player yesterday against Austin Prep.
He is one of their players, one of their best players, and again, just a sophomore. So a lot of good years left for Mirabito in Lynn.
Yeah, he had 24 points as a freshman last year, which is very impressive in the Catholic Central League.
Very talented player indeed. So Hingham down a man for a minute and a half. as McLaughlin goes to set up the attack, but Matt Egan in on the forecheck. And finally, the Spartans are able to get it away. Powers dekes around one defender. Tries to get past Jones, can't do it. Wraps it around. Gets up to McLaughlin, to Powers. To McBurney. McLaughlin at the point with a wrister on Cage, and it's sticked away there by Eller. He's behind the net now. Powers and Jones fight for it. And there's to Tony. Hingham catches McBurney coming off on a change. And there'll be a clearance there as they ice the puck. 35 seconds remaining on the power play. Puck comes up ahead now to Marabito. Over the blue line. Gets bodied off there by Jones. Willis underneath to Zampanti. Zampanti looking. So tries to bring it around. Back up to Willis up top with a slap shot deflected away there by the Hingham defense. They reset again. Pedro to the keeper's left. Back out to Willis with a drive. He scores! Brandon West right from the blue line sneaks it just inside the far post, scored out a power play goal, and it is 1-0 St. Mary's.
Well, that was a pretty good puck move by St. Mary's, and I'm sure Ayers absolutely had no chance at even seeing that puck there with all the trees that were in front of the net. That really snuck its way through a forest.
Yeah, I saw about it looks like 4 or 5 legs there, and it's either way, it's 1-0 St. Mary's after Hingham pretty much owned the first 3-4 minutes of the game.
Well, that's why you need to stay out of the box. Special teams is so important in this game.
Hingham now with it. Comes up top. Shot put on Cage there by Jacobs. It whistles wide. Mark Zampanti, Mike's brother, tries to clear it away. They're hacking and batting and chipping at it there. Comes out to Jones, who wrists it in. Sticked away there by Borders. The puck comes around to Mike Desmond. He clears it out, but then again, Hingham continuing to win in the neutral zone. Finally, St. Mary's able to bring it up. And it was a clearance by Mark Zampanti, but it will go down as icing. It's just, he was one stride away from the red line. Almost had it.
Well, it's nice to see that Hingham reacted to giving out the power play goal with a very good shift immediately afterwards. Important to set the tone going forward.
Absolutely. So a face-off to the left of Borders. Face-off won by the Spartans. And to Tony. Clears it up. McBurney lays some leather over there. And here come the Spartans. Giancopoulos and Powers. Powers gets to it first. He's met there by Droster. Powers fights through the Hingham defense. There'll be another power play coming here for St. Mary's. It'll be a tripping call. So we got a trip coming at 5:48. That will be on Egan.
Well, and I'm sure that's not exactly how Coach Messina had it drawn up in the locker room for them to fall behind for the second time in the first 6 minutes of the period.
No, I'd have to take a guess that Tony is not too pleased with 2 penalties in the first 6 minutes. But his trash is Bob Lee's treasure, as it's now St. Mary's second power play. They're playing negative hockey right now. Bring it up with McBurney. Up to Zampanti. Takes the tape. Marabito calling for it on the right, but Zampanti brings it himself. Cycles back. Sends it out to his brother Mark, who slaps it in. Pedro cycles it around. Mark Zampanti with it. Over to Willis, who had the goal. Willis sends it in. It was hit a foot in front and whistled wide.
Yeah, I think it might have gone off Selesky for Hingham.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Oh, it's Selesky takes a big hit right there. Willis with it to Mark Zampanti. Loses it, gets it back, finds Pedro to Marabito. Went for a saucer pass. If he kept that on the ice, it might have been 2-0. Puck chipped away there by the Hingham defense. Marabito with it, marked by, looks like O'Rourke. 25 seconds left on the power play. Puck down in the corner. Willis fetches it at the point. Willis with a slapper deflected there by Matt DeMellis, and up into the netting, and we'll have a face-off to the left of Eller.
Well, only 16 seconds left on this power play, but obviously this offensive zone face-off is going to be a critical moment here for Hingham.
Yeah,
if they can win the straw, they can kill the rest of the penalty off.
Absolutely. And we're going to have someone tossed out of the circle. It's Hingham's area. Face-off lost to McLaughlin. Sends it down to Powers. Second unit out now for St. Mary's. McBurney to McLaughlin to Powers. And the puck is cleared out. 2-1. I'll do it for the penalty. As Borders leaves it there for Titone and McLaughlin. McLaughlin met there by area. And now Hingham really coming forward. 3 guys in underneath the circles now for the Harbormen. As Powers and Area have a meeting of the minds. We got a penalty now coming on McBurney, high stick, as it looked like he got the blade up into the face of Jack Forbes. So now Hingham goes on the power play.
Well, this is a golden opportunity for the Harbormen to step back in this game. They managed to escape that second penalty of theirs without any further damage. Let's see if they can take advantage of this opportunity to tie this game at 1.
Billy McNally takes the face-off, wins it back clean. O'Rourke. DeMellis cycles it around. O'Rourke wrists it in, and it's in! It scores! Matt O'Rourke from the top of the... Mark O'Rourke, excuse me, from the top of the umbrella. Power play goal, 9 seconds into the man up. And it's now 1-1.
And the sophomore defenseman evens the score for Hingham. Nice shot from the point through traffic, finds the back of the net, and it takes them a whole 9 seconds on the power play to cash in.
All set up by a super clean face-off win.
Well, it goes to show why those face-offs on the power play in the offensive zone have such critical importance.
And Hingham with another face-off win. They got the puck in deep. It looked like, who was that that dropped their stick there? That was Drew Hickey. Here come the Spartans. Jeff Gordon, looks like Hingham's third line in there now. Selesky meets it, comes over the blue line. Shot left there. Able to get kicked away by St. Mary's as Titone dumps it in. Selesky picks it up underneath and will quarterback this rush up. Selesky ahead, kicks off Gordon's skate, and the turnover right there. Almost too many men right there for Hingham as Droster was jumping off. We're getting a new puck, it looks like.
Boy, was St. Mary's fortunate not to give up the go-ahead goal on that scramble in front of the net.
Yeah, puck was...
Juicy rebound was sitting right there.
Juicy like a well-cooked steak. And here comes St. Mary's now. Zampanti in. Puck lost to Jack Forbes. Willis picks it up in the neutral zone, cycles it around. Met there by Daniel Shea. Great job there by the assistant captain.
Got a strong forecheck.
Mark Zampanti tries throwing his weight around. Shea Forbes skates right on by. Puck behind Borders. A whole big scrum going on there. Shea picks it up. Puck chipped away. Pedro picks it up. Brings it around back. Marabito goes to find it, but the suffocating forecheck by Hingham is not allowing St. Mary's to do anything. And there's an offsides.
So it looks like the official scoring in that goal was O'Rourke from DeMellis and Egan.
Yeah, it's 6-9-29.
That's a 2-point weekend it's been for Egan. He scored one of the 2 Hingham goals last night against Malden Catholic.
Another sophomore, another member of the bright young core from Messina's squad. So face off front of the St. Mary's bench as we wind under 5.5 to go here in the first period. 1-1 in the consolation game of the Chris Serino Christmas tournament. Right in front of us here, bodies flying, sticks going everywhere. McBurney comes away with it, sends it back to Kramer. Kramer loses it to Driscoll. And here comes that forecheck again for Hingham. Kramer to McBurney, who tries to chip it off the glass, but the glass is dead. St. Mary's able to get it back. Here comes Ian Kopoulos. Jones falls right on his keister, and here comes St. Mary's around. Powers picks it up, cycles, dumps it to McBurney, who loses it. Jones back up and into the play. A lot of turnovers in quick succession. McLaughlin finally puts it towards Cage, but it misses the frame. Tony pinches in, picks up on the end boards, allows Powers to scoop it up. Excuse me, that's Yankopoulos. And then he loses it up to Hingham. And they went for the stretch pass, but nothing doing there. Austin Cohen couldn't get a stick on it, so it'll be a Hingham icing.
Yeah, Selesky put a little bit more on that pass than I'm sure he was intending there.
Yeah, a little bit too much. Should have gone with the change up there. So it'll be a face-off to Eller's left. Face-off won back by St. Mary's, but Hingham attacks quick. There's Selesky. Chips it up, but can't get it out. Tries the body off of St. Mary's player. Number 18 for St. Mary's, not listed on the roster, so we'll have to figure out who that is. 18 dumps it in. Selesky goes back to pick it up. We wind under 4 to go here in Malden in the first period. Selesky brings it over the red line. Met there by Brady McLaughlin, and McLaughlin takes the worst of his own hit.
Yeah, Selesky definitely took the best of that one.
Yeah, Selesky is a big kid. So St. Mary's trying to cycle it out now. Zampanti to Marabito. Loses it with a poor first touch in the neutral zone to O'Rourke, and here comes Hingham again. O'Rourke dumps it ahead. Shot saved by Borders. Nice play there by DeMellis to measure the defense and get behind right there.
You got to love the nice physical play by Selesky setting the tone there. You know who else really got to enjoy that? Assistant coach Rick Shue worked for Hingham. Former Hingham star captain of the 1992 team that won the Division II state championship, and one of the most physical defensemen you would ever want to watch.
Well, I think now it's the third pair out, Jacobs and Jones out there now for Hingham on defense as they have a face-off to Borders right. St. Mary's wins that clean as a whistle. Willis up to Powers, loses it. Shot saved by Borders. Wrapped around there for St. Mary's. The Spartans just can't get it out. This forecheck is suffocating by Hingham. And finally, Powers able to get a stick on it. And it's gone. Puck fighting around. Egan wins it. Drew Hickey has it. Poked away there by Kramer. Comes back out to Jones, who's able to keep it in. He wraps it around. Hennessy giving chase. We'll see Hickey. McBurney for St. Mary's giving chase to Hennessy. And finally Powers picks it up as one of the forwards switches off. And the linesman gets in the way. And the puck stays at St. Mary's end of the ice. Finally they're able to clear it out on a change. Yankopoulos dumps it in from the center line as it wraps around. 18 for St. Mary's gives chase. But Hingham able to come away with it. Stolen away there by Mike Desmond right at the blue line. He dumps it back in. 2:15 to go now here in the first. Hingham ahead, led by Forbes. Tony meets him right at the blue line. And McLaughlin there to clean up the mess. McLaughlin and Ieria meet up on the end boards, and Ieria gets the better of it. Out to the point, shot doesn't get through. Another shot doesn't make it to the frame. Tony pushes Shea into the end boards. Hingham able to come away. Egan shot over the net. Hingham much crisper thus far offensively. Shot in on Borders and by Droster, and they finally will blow the whistle as Borders was sitting on top of it for a good 4 or 5 seconds. I don't know what the ref was thinking there. I mean, it was blatant. It was clearly covered.
Well, I think the ref was expecting him to give it up and let one of his defensemen bring the play off ice. Territorial play here definitely favoring Hingham other than the two power plays for St. Mary's. They've spent a lot of time in their own end.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been all Harbormen thus far, possession-wise. But the score, we are tied at 1. Selesky puts it on Cage. Sticked away there by Borders. Egan behind the net. A whole bunch of people there behind the net. Hingham comes away with it with DeMellis. DeMellis met by Marabito, who tries to get it up, but he can't. Puck lost. Egan, shot, score! The puck lost in the defensive end. Matt DeMellis cleaned up the mess. Gift wrapped it to Matt Egan, who chips it home, and Hingham takes the lead 2-1 late here in the first period.
And that's Egan's third point on the weekend. He's really been one of the offensive bellwethers for Hingham.
Let's score that. Matt Egan from Matt DeMellis.
And that play was set in motion by a turnover about one step inside the blue line. Hingham gets it down in front of the net, quick pass over, and Borders really didn't have any chance whatsoever on that one.
Second assist today for DeMellis. Second point for Egan. Here comes Hingham again. Shot, score! Just like that. I almost missed that one.
Looks like that was sophomore forward Jeff Gordon with the goal on the rebound on that play.
Jack Forbes fed it into Jeff Gordon, and Gordon drove that one home right from the top of the crease. With less than a minute to go, it's now 3-1. My, how fast things can change.
Wow, that's two goals very, very fast. What's got Hingham really forechecking aggressively, really carrying the play here, and I think St. Mary's is going to be very happy to have these last 55 seconds expire and get a chance to get in the locker room.
Yeah, I think Bob's definitely going to want to talk to have a chat with his boys.
Yeah, those two goals were 12 seconds apart.
There's another shot there, and Borders able to stick that one away. Hingham is flying right now. So St. Mary's trying to get their bearings out in front. Shot, and it goes wide. Oh, Jack Hennessy with a golden opportunity. Couldn't get the stick. Puck bodied away. And
we're going to have an interference penalty here on Hingham.
So Zaleski will be sitting for the rest of the period and a bit of the second for an interference call to come in at 14:38.
And after giving up the two quick goals, really, this is what St. Mary's desperately needed right now.
Yeah.
Power play, a chance to swing the momentum back in the Spartans' direction.
Yeah, and and if they don't score here, they'll have a minute plus of fresh ice in the second. So Willis keying it up. Zampanti risks it in, gets stick down. Where is it?
I think that was in somebody's equipment, and indeed it was. Number 21, Will Jones.
I had hibernated in Will Jones' sweater. So 10 seconds left in the first. We'll have a face-off to Ayler's right.
Another one of these critical offensive zone face-offs.
Looks like McBurney's in on it for, it was Marabito.
Marabito, yeah.
Marabito trying to find Pedro, just a bit off center. Pedro out to Willis, Willis sends it in, gets kicked away before it can get to Cage. And it's 3-1 Hingham. Man, what a slam bang finish for the Harbormen.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, their coaching staff has to be thrilled. That's got to be as good a period as they've played all year. The vast majority of this period was played in the St. Mary's defensive end. They gave up the power play goal, came back with a power play goal of their own, and then bang, bang, those two goals 12 seconds apart late in the period. And, they're going to the locker room flying right now.
Yeah, it's definitely a good end of the period from Tony Messina's club. But for Bob Lee, there's as he huddles with his coaches and his bench right now, questions that need to be asked. It wasn't going the best before, but then what happened at the end?
What happened at the end, their defensemen started making bad decisions, a couple of turnovers. Let's go high in the defensive zone where they had a chance to clear and they didn't. And they paid for it in the scoreboard.
So it is shots 12-6 in favor of the Harbormen in that first period. I think that sounds about right for the way the period was played.
No, I would say that's probably accurate. Most of those shots for St. Mary's occurring on the two power plays that they had.
Yeah, they did look good on the power play. I'm very interested to see how they play with a fresh sheet of ice. 68 seconds of power play time to open up the second for the Spartans. So it'll be interesting. I'm not going to say that it's imperative that they score a goal there, but the way that Hingham has been dominating 5-on-5, they just might need to have to score a goal in that opening minute.
They would do very well to do so. So at the end of one period, it's Hingham 3, St. Mary's 1. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back to you to bring you the second period.
That St. Mary's wins the opening face-off. Going back to Willis. Willis tried to feed up ahead to Pedro, but it was taken away, and Titoni lays a big hit. Icing waved off. Willis to Zampanti. St. Mary's on the power play right now. Puck dumped in from Marabito. Marabito plays it back for Pedro, back to Marabito, who loses it in the skates, finds it. Pedro, Marabito, poked out and away by Egan. So 30 seconds left here in the power play for the Spartans. It's dumped in for icing, and that is the last thing you want to do late in a power play.
Absolutely. Wow, that first period kind of the end of its shades of proud Hingham's team's past, a program that has 4 alumni currently playing college hockey in such places as Trinity, Middlebury, BC, and Holy Cross.
Well, Hingham always puts players into college. One of their assistant coaches, Bobby Allen, was a star at BC right around the turn of the century. And it is weird saying that. It is very weird saying that live. The face-off won by the Spartans. McBurney back to Titone. Up to McLaughlin, looking for McBurney. Saucer passes it ahead. Can't tap it down. And the linesman collides with Titone. Powers in the slot. Shot deflected away. Behind for McBurney. Wraps it around right into Eller. And Eller covers it. Good pressure there by the Spartans. Something we didn't see much of 5-on-5 last period.
That's true. But I'll tell you, though, Powers there really was very slow getting that shot away, really tried to load up on it. And one of the best things you can do as an offensive player is to have a quick release on it.
There's no such thing as a bad shot on net.
No, absolutely not.
So Giancopoulos loses it. Egan, spinorama met by Titone, who bodies him off the puck. Mike Desmond with it. Net in the corner. Played back out. Shot in. Giancopoulos dives to block it. Selesky, the front poked away by Borden, who loses his stick. The goalie's stick is at the blue line. When does that ever happen? It's in the neutral zone now. So Borden without a stick. And there's no way in which he can get it because it's in the neutral zone. Giancopoulos meets Droster there. Desmond clears it in. And Titone able to hack the stick back to Borders.
Well, Borders might have lost the stick on the play, but there's no doubt that poke check saved a goal.
Yes, that poke check absolutely, and if not a goal, at least an incredibly high percentage chance is what that poke check denied. So Kramer behind the net to Pedro. Forechecked away there by Forbes into the corner. Marabito, Forbes, a gaggle of humans. Marabito loses it up to Droster. Touchdown and in to Borders, who just decides to cover it up for a face-off.
More offensive zone pressure for the Harbormen here.
More offensive zone pressure. Okay.
And Harbormen win the face-off.
All right, St. Mary's picks it up with Giancopoulos clearing it ahead. Bodied off there by McBurney. Puck played behind Borders to Willis. Willis dumps it back for Kramer. Kramer loses it to Hingham. Poked around in front. They're hacking away at it. Bodies are flying. Comes out to O'Rourke. Shot goes wide as O'Rourke takes a tumble onto the ice.
A couple more grade 8 opportunities for the Harbormen there.
Yeah, exciting stuff. As Willis plays it up, is met by O'Rourke. DeMellis comes back with it. DeMellis loses it to Powers. Powers looking for help, has to put it on Cage. And Eller able to scoop it up. It looked like Powers was looking for Desmond, but Desmond was looking the wrong way. As we got shrapnel on the ice now, being cleaned up by the ref.
And Eller's there for the save when he needs to be. Eller's played a very strong game yesterday. It might not seem that way from the scoreboard, but then I haven't given up 6 goals, but that could have been far more lopsided if he hadn't played as well as he did.
He has not do much today, but he's done what he's had to do. So both guys tossed out of the circle. So it'll be DeMellis and Desmond. Desmond wins it. Poked back down in for St. Mary's. Giancopoulos runs into his own guy. Giancopoulos to Desmond. Tried to get it back to Zampanti, but Hingham is away with it. McNally looking for DeMellis, and we're going to have offsides. 11:24 left here in the second in Malden. Hingham 3, St. Mary's 1. My Hockey Live. Chris Sereno Christmas Tournament Consolation Game. I'm Mike Abelson. To my right is Andrew Greenberg. So face off just outside the St. Mary's zone. Won cleanly there by Marabito, who they call offsides. And Marabito tried to slap it in after it was deflected. I think Pedro had half a step there. So face-off will be right down in front of us. Marabito and Hennessy. Marabito wins it, but Hingham immediately takes it away. Hennessy and Gordon coming up. Zampanti steals it away and plays it down the ice. No icing here, as Droster will be able to get back to it as he skates off Zampanti, tries to clear it up, but comes back to Selesky. Selesky around to Drew Hickey. Hickey ahead to Hennessy. Hennessy chips to the head. Glove down by Pedro, who plays it back to McLaughlin. Deflected ahead there. Back to Mark Zampanti. Takes it over the red line. Puts it in the neutral zone, down into the zone. Fire wagon change as Hingham catches St. Mary's in it. There's a shot, and it's saved there by Borders. Is Hickey able to get behind the line change there? Hennessy with it. Dumps it in. Colin Fibati in there now. It's Hingham, I think, rolling their fourth line. Haven't seen Cohen, Flanders, Fibati. Haven't seen much of this line today. Here is McBurney. Brings it right around Cohen and ahead to Powers. Powers loses it back to Cohen. Gets dumped back. Selesky to Jones. Jones, Cohen coming over the neutral zone to Tony, able to body him off to get the icing. So over 5 minutes gone. Looks like a better period thus far for St. Mary's. Just two shots so far.
Well, it almost would have had to have been after the way that first period ended.
It'd be pretty hard to have a worse period than that last 3 minutes there. So face off to Eller's left. Puck down, one back by Hingham. Puck wound up on Eller's pad. Still loose. No, it's not. So it'll be another face-off coming to Eller's left.
St. Mary's with a little consistent offensive zone pressure here. I'm sure that's a nice change of pace for them.
Well, they're winning face-offs. But they don't win that one. Hingham gets it. Egan gets bodied off by Totoni. Desmond comes in to help him out. Comes out in front to Yankopoulos, who sends it wide. Yankopoulos and Kramer on the sideboards. Anthony Bono comes in there. Everyone, it's a whole party over there on the sideboards. And finally, Ethan Ieria comes away with it. Up to Forbes, gets bodied off there by Kramer. Puck chipped away, grazes the ceiling, and we will have a face-off in the circle to Borders left. You know, St. Mary's having chances, just not getting them on cage.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Yannikopoulos had a very good opportunity with the puck in the mid-slot there. Looked like he was gripping that stick a little tight, though. That was wide by at least 2 feet.
White knuckle in that one. So another face-off win for the Spartans. So McLaughlin clears it up, loses at the point. Shot deflected away by Mark Zampanti. Wraps it around. Hingham picks it up. Droster, shot, score! A turnover by St. Mary's leads to the puck getting to Mark Droster at the top of the circle. He knows what to do with it, puts it home just onto the glove of Borders. 4-1.
Beautiful cross-ice pass to set that goal up.
Tremendous pass.
Heads-up play.
I believe that was DeMellis there on the pass.
Yeah, and that line, that McNally, DeMellis, Egan line has really been the offensive bellwether for Hingham.
If that was DeMellis, that's his third assist, all primary. So 4-1 now Hingham, as St. Mary's might need to think about unscrewing the kitchen sink and getting ready to throw it. Hingham again, shot on Borders, paddled away.
And looks like number 18 for St. Mary's Lynn is limping here. He really needs to get off for a change.
Powers, bodies off.
That was Droster for McNally and Egan on the goal.
They've got a penalty coming. We have an interference call against, looks like St. Mary's. I think it's John Powers going off here.
It appears so, and that's going to be a Hingham power play set up in the St. Mary's zone. By the way, that's Matt Egan's third point of this game. Goal and 2 assists up to this point. Having a very, very nice performance for himself.
Yes, a very, very good game for Egan. Excuse me. The penalty is on Kramer at 6:40.
Well, we certainly don't want to blame Powers for something he's innocent of.
Yeah, Powers being, I think, one of the captains just trying to plead the case there. But Kramer sets for interference. Now Hingham with just their second power play. Selesky to O'Rourke at the point. Dumps it down for E-Area to Selesky to O'Rourke. E-Area shot deflected off the stick of Joe Scally. Shot by Selesky, bouncing around, Hackett in front. Shot, oh! Borders able to make it across cage to get the glove on it. Good sequence there by Hingham. Good save there by Borders.
Yeah, fortunate that the Hingham player had to reach for that and wasn't able to get a lot of mustard on that shot.
Yeah, if he was able to play it, that looked like to be a sure goal.
Yeah, if he was able to have the leverage to lift that puck, we'd probably be looking at a 5-1 score right now.
And we're going to even it up here as Matt DeMellis going off for a trip.
And we'll get an opportunity to see how these players do with some extra open ice to play with some 4-on-4 play for the next 56 seconds.
Kind of an unlucky penalty there, but Mark Zampanti had him by a step, and sometimes you just got to let him go, and he stuck the stick out.
Yeah, and that's the type of play that, especially when you're on the power play, refs are just not going to let you get away with.
No, absolutely not, especially the referee standing right there. So 4-on-4, a whole bunch of free ice. Face off one by Hingham. Bodies go down. They come up ahead. It's like McNally. Ahead to O'Rourke. O'Rourke gets around the edge, but Powers meets him eventually. So Powers tries skating it up. John Powers going 1-on-3. He's got McBurney, and McBurney a little too much ahead. I saw that offsides coming. Had him by a step. Definitely going for the skip pass right there, but be a face-off instead.
Yeah, he might have been best served there by making the cross-ice pass to McBurney since he was ahead of him. Sometimes head-manning the puck is the best way to avoid an offsides like that.
Yeah, that probably would have been a smart move, but alas, it's a face-off, and behind the net, Eller has it. No, yes.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. If the puck flashes, Marabito got his stick back onto it, but it'll be another face-off as the Spartans showing a little bit of chutzpah out there right now.
Yeah, and if Mirabito can win this draw, perhaps they can have some sort of set play off the face-off. Generate a scoring chance. But Hingham wins it.
Hingham wins it. But Pedro able to steal it back, sends it to Joe Scally, who wraps it around. Mirabito in on the forecheck. McLaughlin able to poke it away. But Hingham able to get long-term possession as Droster goes tumbling. St. Mary's takes it away. Pedro over the red line. Dumps it for Marabito to Scally. Diving block there by Hennessy. And Hingham clears it out as they go on an abbreviated penalty kill. 25 seconds of power play time for the Spartans. 6.5 minutes of time left here in the second period. Scally loses it. McLaughlin picks it up. Got this Hingham forecheck even on the penalty kill. Marabito scoops it. 5 seconds on the penalty kill. McLaughlin. Zampanti. Eller backhands it away. McBurney goes for a tumble. Zampanti picks up behind the net. Back to his brother Mark. Dumps it around. Marabito picks it up. McLaughlin was calling for it at the top. He's going to get it. He's going to wrist it in on cage. It's in! I think that's going to be Dante Marabito there on the tip-in.
Yeah, it was.
Off the initial shot by Brady McLaughlin. And there is life for the Spartans.
That was a beautiful redirection by Mirabito. We've mentioned his name a lot. And he really gave you a demonstration of his hand-eye coordination there, his stick skills in getting his stick on that puck in midair, redirecting it, and Naylor had absolutely no chance whatsoever to adjust to that.
The puck was rising, no less, and he was able to get a stick on it. So now a 4-2 game as Hennessy brings in for Hingham. Puck can't go through. Comes out. Selesky shot. Borders. 6 out the glove. Goes right in there. Textbook glove save there by Borders.
And Hingham comes right back out in that shift after giving up the goal with their aggressive forecheck again. Establishes possession in the St. Mary zone. They're going to get another offensive zone faceoff.
I was just about to say that. Right in that. The next shift right after the goal, Hingham comes right back out. Goes right back to what they're doing.
Yeah, they're not getting away from the style of play that built them this 4-2 lead to begin with.
And Selesky tries to keep it in. He can't. So free setup here for the Spartans. Tony dumps it in. And it goes around. Ian Koplis there. Met by Steve Jacobs. Jacobs.
Assisted by number 19, John McCurdy, and number 22, Brady McLaughlin, 94 of the second period.
They announced the goal as Mike Zampanti from Sean McBurney and Brady McLaughlin. We'll look into that. That's not what we saw. But either way, it's 4-2, St. Mary's.
It certainly appeared to me that Mirabito had deflected that.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me as well. So Hingham has it. Selesky to Jacobs. Jacobs deflects it off the boards to the neutral zone. Forbes back to Selesky. Dumps it in as the D pair changes. And on comes O'Rourke and Jones. Mirabito met by Forbes. Trying to get through. Mirabito looking for Zampanti. Finds him. But Jones able to poke it away. And Forbes able to dump it all the way down. Dan Shea loses it. Mirabito collects it. Mike Zampanti gets poked down there by Billy McNally. McNally's in. He's got a guy right in front. He had DeMellis there, but couldn't get it through. Fighting on the sideboards. Jones loses it up. And here comes Dante Mirabito. Can he win the foot race? No. Mark O'Rourke gets there first. And O'Rourke and Pedro have a collision. Puck behind Eller, wrapped around, and up to Egan. Egan to McNally. McNally over the blue line. There's DeMellis there. DeMellis to Candles, leaves it. Schoolyard shot there from McNally from behind the red line, but Border's able to catch it.
Hold on. But again, this McNally line applying pressure.
Yeah, it's a very good line there by Hingham. All the lines have been solid today.
Yeah.
They've been today for Hingham.
Yeah, we got the scoring on that.
All right, yeah. The goal was the score that we've just confirmed through our statistician, Paul McNamara. That second St. Mary's goal, Mike Zampanti from Sean McBurney and Brady McLaughlin. And here comes Sean McBurney over the red line. Shot goes wide there by St. Mary's. Hingham brings it down. McBurney flips it in. Selesky goes underhand and drops it. Selesky to Droster. Up to Hickey. Hickey can't get it around Joe Scally, who dumps it back down. Selesky to Hickey. 3-on-2 for Hingham. Hickey dumps it in. Rebound in front. No. Jeff Gordon just can't get there as it goes out of play.
Another solid scoring chance for the Harbormen on that play, though. And they're going to be rewarded with another offensive zone faceoff.
It seemed like they were almost surprised, though, that they had the 3-on-2. It just kind of happened. So just under 3 minutes to go here in the second. 4-2 Hingham Harbormen over the St. Mary Spartans here at the Forum in Malden. Play back. Shot doesn't get through to Borders. And Egan's going to go. Forbes is going to go for a hook. Should be a cross-check. But either way, there was definitely a penalty there.
And that's an offensive zone penalty and not a smart play on his part there. I'm sure Coach Messina not at all pleased with that development. And that's going to give St. Mary's the power play with 2:44 left in the second period. And an opportunity to cut this to a 1-goal lead.
I looked over at Messina. He had the fingers around the bridge of his nose. The universal sign of being a bit stressed.
Yeah, there are few things more likely to engage a coach's displeasure than offensive zone penalties.
I can't argue with that. So we have face off to the left to Eller. One back clean. McLaughlin shot, deflected over the cage. They're hacking around underneath there. Marabito. Mark Zampanti calling for it up top, but he dumps it back to Mike Zampanti. Mike over to Pedro, to McLaughlin. Shot kicks off the skate of Dan Shea and will go back to the faceoff circle to the left of Eller. I think McLaughlin's had 7 or 8 shot attempts, but I think only one's actually registered on net.
Yeah, that was some pretty good movement at the beginning of the power play there by St. Mary's. They were able to get it established in the offensive end and get another offensive zone face-off out of it.
Selesky pins the puck to the boards. 3 Spartans fight for it. Zampanti wins back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin to Mark Zampanti. Back to McLaughlin, who snaps it in, gets to Eller, who squeezes it shut in the butterfly.
Eller played his angle very well on that play. He was saw it the whole way. He was completely in control.
2:07 to go here in the second. Another face-off here, won by St. Mary's. Mark Zampanti wrists it, deflected. Where is it? Goal! Mike Zampanti able to get behind Eller and backhand it in. Eller was able to knock the initial shot down, but never had it covered. And it's a 1-goal game.
Yeah. Well, you know what happened there? Somebody got a piece of that puck in front of that and it slowed it down. I think that really is what threw Eller off on that play. And then the loose puck was just sitting behind him in the crease. Zampanti knocked it in, and that offensive zone penalty that Hingham took comes back to haunt them greatly.
Yeah, I don't know if it hit a Hingham pad. It looked like Eller was able to get his arm on it, but wasn't able to fully close it. And now it is St. Mary's turn to have the solid end of a period, as they have 2 goals in just under 4 minutes, and it is a 4-3 game. We'll wait to hear the official scoring on that to bring it your way, but you can score that one for Mike Zampanti with the goal. So fighting on the sideboards now is Mark Zampanti ahead to McBurney, who finds Powers on the sprint. Powers can't get a shot off.
And we have another delayed penalty on Hingham here. It looks like it's going to be a hook.
McLaughlin's shot kicked away. Back to Mark Zampanti. Man up now for the Spartans. Kicked away. McBurney with it. Back to McLaughlin. Wrists it in on cage. Goes wide. John Powers scoops it up. 6-on-5 for the Spartans with the goalie off. Comes out in front. Mark Zampanti with a drive. Off the shin pad. Puck comes out. And St. Mary's still playing here. This is one of the longest delays I've ever seen. And no, still no touch-up. Still no touch-up. John Powers has it. Poked away, and they'll call it there. So we're going to have a trip. No idea on who.
It's looking like it's going to be number 21, Will Jones, junior defenseman. And it's a hooking penalty.
At 14-10.
And wow, has the momentum certainly swung in this one.
How things do change. Still waiting on the announcement of St. Mary's 3rd goal, but they will have a power play. Kramer and Pedro fighting with DeMellis. Kramer is able to scoop it. Drops it back to Tony. Behind the net. Wrapped around to Tony, has it. So score that, the Zampanti brothers, Mike with the goal and Mark with the assist. 20 seconds left here.
Yep.
Marabito with it on the sideboards. Crosses it over to Kramer. Down to Pedro. Marabito tries to sneak it behind. Pedro was looking for him. But DeMellis able to clear it out. 8-7-6. Kramer will just hold on to it and kill the period. And after 30 minutes of hockey here in Malden, it is Hingham 4, St. Mary's 3. The Spartans will start the 3rd period with 40 seconds of man-up time.
And clearly with the momentum on their side at this point. After coming into this period with a 3-run lead, when Hingham scored the goal to go up ahead 4-1, they had to be very comfortable with the position they were in. St. Mary's gets the goal on the deflection. They cash in the power play goal afterwards, and momentum is completely swung 180 degrees the opposite way, and Hingham was really on their heels the last 3-4 minutes of this period. I'm sure they're happy to have the buzzer. get their break, have their coaches talk to them, calm them back down, and see if they can get back to playing the way that they did the first half of this game.
Yeah, definitely tale of two periods. It's a cliche line, but it was the truth. So we have 12 minutes to let that simmer. We'll come back for the third period here at the Malden Valley Forum here on My Hockey Live. Yeah, first period, you thought the matches would never like. There comes Dante Marabito. 30 seconds of power play time for the Spartans to start the final period. Mark Zampanti over to McLaughlin. Mike Zampanti, Marabito when he has Pedro up front, can't get to it in time. Bodied off there by Marco Rourke. Marabito, Zampanti, shot kicked away there by Dan Shea. Puck shot up, and that'll be, I think, an offensive zone face-off for St. Mary's. It hits the ceiling.
Penalty has expired, and that opportunity goes by the wayside.
Well, one of the lower ceilings you'll find here in the Commonwealth.
Not as low as the Burlington Ice Palace, though.
Nothing is as low as the Burlington Ice Palace. You can't see from the top row. That's how low it is. So a face-off to Eller's right, so everything gets in order. Powers wins it back to Totoni. Wraps it around for Powers. And we got a whistle for, oh dear, that net is very off. That net is not where it's supposed to be. Now it is. Although, that could come into play later, because once nets start popping up, they do pop off more easily.
That does tend to happen.
So face off to Eller's left, 14:08 left in the third. Powers gets bounced out, and McBurney taking the face-off as he moves everyone around. One back, but away by Hingham. Puck cleared up for Egan. Egan gets bodied off there by Kramer. Behind the net, Kramer to McBurney. Burney met by DeMellis. Powers chips it ahead. McBurney and Selesky in a foot race, and Selesky wins. DeMellis, sticks getting pushed around there, bodies. You gotta get on your skates there, fellas. Hingham comes up as DeMellis and Totoni have a few words.
Yeah, they were really going at one another there.
Yeah, they were tied up with each other for a while, and it's going to get chippier as this thing goes on.
I'm almost surprised they didn't both end up in the box.
The refs have been doing a good job of letting them play, but reeling it in when it gets a little out of hand. And there's a nice hit there by Jeff Gordon on the sideboard. St. Mary's with it behind their own cage. Anthony Bono with it. Loses it. Zampanti tries to wrap it ahead to Giancopoulos. Bono lost to Hingham. Jones ahead, loses it. St. Mary's picks it up. McLaughlin up, looking for Marabito. Puck bungled around, comes down. Droster meets Marabito and then meets the ice. And the puck gets cleared in by Pedro. Zampanti gets tied up there with Droster. Hingham comes up with possession. McLaughlin shoots it in, paddled away there by Eller. Marabito with it. Puck tied up on the end boards as we wind under 12 minutes to go here in the third. Zampanti has some space, gets loose, able to chip it. Eller has to shoulder it away, and then he dives on the loose puck. The refs are quick to get in and clear the colors away from each other.
Well, that was a neat little play by Zampanti there to dance out of the corner. That kind of developed out of nowhere.
Well, it was weird because Zampanti comes in off the edge, and he was in the middle of 3 Harbormen, and no one attacked him. So he was able to get a shot on cage from very close range. I'm sure Tony Messina won't be too happy about that. Not a lot for Tony Messina to be happy about today, despite his team leading nearly the entire game.
Well, they were in control of this game, but they have kind of let things get away from them over the last half of the second period and into the beginning of the third.
Yeah, St. Mary's, only 3 minutes to of time to work it, but St. Mary's has been the aggressor here in the third.
No, I would agree with that.
Scally throws it on Cage, gets deflected away. Selesky dumps it ahead, and here comes Forbes. Forbes dumps it in ahead for Hingham. Bodies meet there to Tony. Powers, Forbes, area. To Tony, ahead. No one can get it. Finally, O'Rourke does, as him and McBurney meet up. There's a shot by Powers, whistles wide. Put a lot of pace in that one. Comes all the way back around on the relatively fresh sheet for Joe Scally. Scally wraps it ahead for Ian Coppolis, who turns it up ice. Leaves it for Powers, who brings it over the red line. Over the blue line, dumps it in for Desmond, who lost it to Hingham, and here come the Harbormen. 2-on-1, McNally and Egan. McNally in, shot goes wide. Trying to pick the near side right over the shoulder, just couldn't do it. Drosta with the shot. That whistles over the far corner. So here comes Desmond now for St. Mary's. Up and down they go. Desmond over the blue line. Loses it to Jones. Loses it back to Bono, who's seeing more ice time here in the third than I've seen him play in either of the first two periods so far. So a nice hit there from Pedro, but Hingham clears it ahead. 2-on-4 for the Harbormen.
It's another aggressive rush for that McNally line.
McNally, DeMellis, there's Selesky.
Definitely been the top line for Hingham, but another good opportunity right there again for DeMellis.
Yeah. Just couldn't get enough wood on the shot. And there's icing as Marabito can't get in. We can take a minute, fan ourselves, catch our breath. Up and down they went those last 2 minutes.
Yeah, that was the first shift since the beginning of this period that Hingham really carried the play on. Maybe taking a little bit of the momentum back for the Harbormen. Step in the right direction. After all, it's aggressive forechecking that got them out to the 4-1 lead in the first place. You really have to avoid the temptation to sit back and attempt to, protect and sit on a 1-goal lead.
That DeMellis line's been the real spark for the Harbormen today.
Clearly has been their top line in this game.
And here comes St. Mary's. There's a shot blocked away there by Jacobs. Cleared in. Here's to Tony wanted to bomb that, but it fizzled. And here comes Hingham. Jacobs. It's for a shot deflected wide. Hickey gives chase.
That was weird. It almost sounded like Tony's stick had broken there, but in fact it hadn't.
Yeah, no, Tony's still playing. Hickey loses it. Oh, and he had Hennessy wide open on the cross pass, and Hennessy would have been able to have a shot at goal.
Totally had no idea that Hennessy was even there.
Yeah, didn't see him. Just going for the clear for the change. So Mark Zampanti loses it. Forbes picks it up. In front, Forbes in front, shot saved by Borders. Borders having to really stretch to get over on that one.
And that's Hennessy with the opportunity right there.
This has been a pretty successful little line for them today.
Although actually, no, sorry, that was number 28, Forbes, with the opportunity in front there.
Forbes,
28, not 26.
So Shea dumps it back. O'Rourke can't pick it in. And O'Rourke splits the D, but he loses it. Lost again, still hanging out in the neutral zone. Finally, Shea picks it up, loses it immediately back to Yankopoulos. Hingham with it now, behind their own net. O'Rourke, bodied off there. Twice bodied off there by Mike Zampanti. One more for good measure. Wrapped around for Droster.
Some would say Zampanti was fortunate enough not to get called for cross-checking on that.
I thought that third one might have thrown the ref's arm up. So 8:20 to go, 4-3 Hingham, as St. Mary's giving everything they got. Tony stops and changes direction behind his own net. Zampanti. And Mike Zampanti not able to get it to click off the glass, so it'll be an offensive zone draw for Hingham. 8:11 to go here in third.
And the big line, the McNally, DeMellis Egan line, out to take the offensive zone faceoff for Hingham.
DeMellis with a snap backhand. Egan gets over with a shot. Two quick shots there by that line, Andrew. It's almost like clockwork with them.
Yeah, I mean, that line has applied consistent pressure the entire game.
McNally behind the net, looking. Goes for the sharp angle. Gets a better angle, but it's poked away there by 18 for St. Mary's. Selesky. Comes back around, Selesky with it. Over to Jones. Jones with a half slapper, he scores! Will Jones from the top of the circle with a half slap, finds the twine, 5-3 Hingham. And that, look at the body language of St. Mary's. Another cliche, but that one is a killer.
Yeah, that one's a backbreaker, it really is. And again, it's that Hingham first line all over that goal again.
I think Egan's going to get a second assist on that.
Well, if Egan gets an assist on that play, that's going to be his 4th point of the game.
Be a hell of a game for Egan. And here comes Hingham right back looking for more. Puck lost. Back to the Harbormen. We'll get the official scoring to you once we get it to ourselves. So Hingham fighting with it in the corner. Puck comes out. Shot from Jacobs, deflected down, hanging out. So able to clear it away. Blocked there by Ian Kopoulos. Desmond loses his stick. There's a shot, goes around Borders. And the puck comes down. And here's the foot race. Jacobs and Ian Kopoulos give chase. Ian Kopoulos is going to get there first.
Hingham goal scored at 7:35 of the third period by number 21, Will Jones, assisted by number
Marabito there.
McNally and number 9, Matt DeMellis.
Is it a shot from Tony? No.
That's Jones to McNally and DeMellis. Is that DeMellis' 4th assist this game?
That's his 4th point. Oh, no, that is his 3rd assist. McNally's 2nd.
Very, very impressive performance by that line, needless to say.
So Gordon clears it down for an icing. 6:18 to go.
St. Mary's really starting to press it here with 6:18 left and down 2 goals. They're really going to have to start having their defensemen jump into the play, which is, of course, inherently risky. When you do that, you're risking giving up odd man rushes back the other way. But they're really not going to have much of a choice at this point.
Yeah, they have to go. They have to go. 6:15 to go, down 2 to a pressing Hingham squad. So puck right in front of the scorer's box. Puck still loose to Tony. Finally gets a stick on it and clears it back. Kramer wraps it around for Pedro. Pedro ahead, taking it with it. There's DeMellis. Deeks around. Shot on cage, glove down by Borders.
Looked like number 20 for Hingham, assistant captain Daniel Shea. Got his bell rung a bit there. Took contact to the head, and he was shaking his head in the bench after he went off.
Yeah, trying to see him. Yeah, he's off to the side of the bench there. Head down, trying to regain his composure. He's signaling that he's okay, but he definitely did take a bit of a hit there.
Yeah, he definitely got his bell rung, as they like to say.
So St. Mary's coming up now. Hingham giving chase. Egan, McNally, DeMellis again. Oh, a crushing hit there. And that's going to send Nick Droster to the penalty box. As Sean McBurney took that full force right in front of us. You can see that on your replay right there.
You know, Droster's another one of those guys from Hingham who's really had been involved both ways this game. Some heavy physical play on the defensive end, a goal on the offensive end.
Sean McBurney skates off under his own power. A bit worse for wear, but he does under his own power, so that's good to see. So Droster will sit for 1.5 minutes at 9:26 of the third.
McBurney visibly doubled over on the bench there, though. He definitely took the worst of that collision, that's for sure.
Yes, that altercation did not end in his favor. So we'll keep an eye on Sean as St. Mary's on a power play now. Is Zampanti. McBurney, one of the centermen, the left winger for the second power play unit for St. Mary's.
And one of St. Mary's top offensive guns. Really unfortunate that they would be without him in this situation.
Yeah, agreed. So here's McLaughlin still throwing it on net. Where is it? Where is it? I think it was lost somewhere in Eller.
That was trapped between Eller's pads.
So 58 seconds left in the power play.
5:02 left in the game. Hingham clinging to a 2-goal lead.
McBurney looking the better for wear now as he gets back to his feet, gets back to the edge of the bench, to watch the proceedings. That's a good sign.
Definitely.
So Mark Zampanti with a shot. Keeps it in. Crosses it over, poked away there by O'Rourke. O'Rourke clears it back up into his bench.
Yeah,
Sends the Harbormen scurrying for cover.
almost took one of his teammates out there.
Yeah, almost took out Messina's shoulder, it looked like.
And McBurney's back on the ice. That's good to see.
All right, still regaining his composure, but he's still out there.
Yeah, he looks like he's still hurting a bit, but, you know, in a situation like this, you need your top players. So he's going to suck it up and give it his best.
To Tony. McBurney with his first touch. Back to Tony. Scally calling for it up top. Tony wraps it around. Looking for McBurney, who's tripped up, but nothing called there. Puck comes out to Tony. Over to Scally. Shot score! Joe Scally with a snapper from just inside the blue line. Game on. 5-4 Hingham.
And St. Mary's with their second power play goal of the game. The Droster penalty ends up being very costly.
It's actually the third power play goal of the game.
Sorry, third
power play goal. All the damage coming on the man up.
Yeah, the Droster penalty ends up being very costly. They slice it to a one-goal deficit with still plenty of time left, 4:23.
Still plenty of time left. Should be said, Hingham that's the third power play goal on 7 power penalties for Hingham. So, game on here at the Forum. You have Egan over there, loses it to Marabito. Marabito crosses it ahead. And Zampanti slams into one of the Harbormen. Pedro brings it in. He's got a shot. He's got something there. Zampanti to Tony. Back to Scally. Scally's shot deflected away. And cleared away by Forbes. That'll be icing.
Joe Scally, assisted by number 2, Steve Tritoni, and number 19, Sean McBurney.
So McBurney, in his first shift back, gets the secondary assist on that goal.
That's definitely got to feel good.
That's definitely got to feel good to get a point after that.
That'll take the sting out of that hit out.
Well, really take the sting out if St. Mary's can poke in its 5th. So McBurney has it. Shot goes wide. Well, McBurney almost had that elusive 5th goal.
Yeah, he would have forgotten all about that hit.
Oh, I think he absolutely would have forgotten all about that hit. But here comes the Harbormen. McNally ahead. Touchdown by Mark Zampanti. Cleared ahead to McBurney.
And that's
McBurney
a hit by Billy McNally.
Ahead to 18. Over to Powers. Powers trying to get it. McLaughlin with a nifty move. Gets it back to to Tony, excuse me. McLaughlin with it just inside the blue line. Sends it in, deflected away by a shin pad. To Tony. Elbowed away by Selesky. Up to DeMellis. And that puck will go in on net. And Borders will have to cover as DeMellis was crashing.
Well, that was a good break for Hingham that just happened to go in on goal. And instead of icing in a face-off in their own zone, they face-off in the offensive zone.
Yep, absolutely, because if that thing was about another foot or two to the right, it would have been icing.
And then we're 180 feet back the other way.
So the puck now in the corner behind Borders. Kramer goes down. Marabito picks it up. Ahead to Zampanti. Pedro the trailer. Droster tries to lay one into Zampanti, but he misses. Behind the net. Picked up there by Area. Puck dumped down. Will this be icing? No, it will not. The off official calls no icing. Puck, Forbes and Pedro fighting on the sideboards. Puck one out to St. Mary's. Zampanti head to Marabito. Oh, and it bounces over his stick. He measured that stretch beautifully. McLaughlin in. Shot. And now Hingham going the other way. McNally gets poked away. Goodness gracious. So much hockey going on right now.
Wow, both teams with golden opportunities that just barely didn't come off.
Here comes McNally, tries to center it, but DeMellis isn't there. Marabito touches it off the glass and down, and it goes past Zaleski. 2-on-1 for St. Mary's, but Hingham gets to it first.
And with minute 40 left, you got to wonder when Coach Lee is going to pull the goalie.
Yeah, got to wonder when Borders is going to hit the bench. Puck played in. Borders in the slot. Puck down underneath Ehlers. Selesky ahead to McNally. McNally and McLaughlin fighting for it. One back to Pedro. Ahead to Powers. And here comes Borders to the bench. Goalie off, extra attacker on with 70 seconds left. McLaughlin. DeMellis with it. He has McNally open. DeMellis with a shot, and it goes wide. Hit the outside of the net as we wind under a minute to go. Pedro with it, gonna bring it up. Pedro ahead to Powers, deflects it off, and we will have a center ice face-off.
You know, even though Hingham didn't score the empty net goal there, you do have to give DeMellis credit for having the discipline to make sure he got over the red line before letting that go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thereby making sure that they weren't risking taking an icing call.
And so now Powers
is going to call timeout.
Going to call timeout. St. Mary's going to call timeout with exactly 51 seconds left. This has been fun. This has been fun hockey today.
No, it might be a consolation game, but I think both of these teams have really put out a strong effort here. It's been a very close game, very up and down, and certainly not without its level of excitement.
Oh no, absolutely, indeed. Well, if you're St. Mary's coming out here with a center ice faceoff coming, do you start with Borders in net?
No. If the faceoff was at my own blue line, I would, but at center ice with less than a minute left and needing a goal, I'm lining up 3 across, 3 behind, and I'm looking for offense.
All right, because I know a lot of coaches, unless it's in the offensive zone, they'll stick the goalie out and they park him right at the top of the circles. But who knows? Hingham wins that face-off. Next thing you know, you're stuck with your goalie in there for 30 seconds, and you get one rush, and that's all you got.
Yeah, I mean, if this face-off was with like a minute 15, a minute 20 left, I might have a different answer to that question.
Yeah, well, Borders is sitting on the bench, so sitting on the top of the boards. Doesn't look like he's coming on. So the ref's coming back out. Eller back to his goal. So 51 seconds left here.
You'd have to imagine Hingham will be sending out the McNally, Egan, DeMellis line, and they are.
What a surprise. And so it looks like Borders is he coming out or is he staying in? Borders is staying in. So Andrew took your coaching advice, and they're gonna go 3 front, 3 in front, 3 in back. And DeMellis gets it.
Actually.
The puck chipped in there by Zampanti. Marabito's going to get to it first. Sliced in front. And there's a puck. Gets cleared out. This will get back for icing.
Oh, wow. What would you say that missed by? About 6 inches?
Maxwell Smart missed it by that much. So it'll be a face-off to Eller's right. That would have been a 190-foot rolling goal. Something you just wouldn't see. But face off to Eller's right with half a minute to go. Powers and McNally on the draw. The off official, yeah, they were pinching in on the outside. O'Rourke and Marabito. So there's a face-off. One to St. Mary's. Marabito tries to slice it in. They're poking around. They call it dead. What'd I say about that net coming off? It just bounced right off there. So it'll be another face-off.
Probably a break for Hingham there if the net came off.
Yeah, Marabito was in the midst of a wraparound. So, Powers and McNally again on the draw. And there's the draw. Marabito wins it. Throws it in, deflected down. It goes past net. They're calling high stick.
High stick.
The off official agrees, high stick.
And that face-off's coming out all the way down.
Oh dear, this is going all the way down
and that
the other
is an
end.
Absolutely terrible break for St. Mary's.
Yep. I mean, it happened quickly, but the main official signaled it, and then the linesman immediately agreed with it.
And now with 24.9 seconds left, the face-off is in their own zone. They have to bring Borders back in net.
They have to win this clean and hustle it on up, because that might be all Hingham has.
Yeah, they will probably get one last rush if that.
And DeMellis wins it and goes full Bobby Orr with it. Dumps it in.
What a smart play by DeMellis.
13 seconds left. One chance, Zampanti. Up to McBurney. Loses it to Powers. McBurney needs to wait for the clearance. He loses the puck back to Hingham. The puck is cleared down for icing. And that'll be it. Marabino's pleading his case that there should be time left. Wouldn't be much more than a second.
And it looks like the St. Mary's coaches are asking for the refs to come over. They want to have a word about this too.
The Hingham coaches.
So does Messina. Looks like everybody wants to talk about this.
Yeah, well, the Hingham players think it's done. I mean, it can't be more. If it's .4, it really isn't worth it.
And they're pointing down the Hingham end of the ice.
So they're calling icing with .4 seconds to go.
There's going to be and
mathematically, I don't think it's possible for a goal to be scored here.
Well, the only play that they possibly have is for the center to try to directly shoot the face-off on net.
And even then, .4, I don't think.
Not sure.
Maybe at .9 it could work,
yeah.
But .4, which seems about where the clock should have been at on the icing call.
But I do remember one game in the middle 90s when Adam Oates for the Bruins in a playoff game in overtime shot the face-off directly into the net for a game-winning goal.
I've seen it happen, but it's usually with 1 or 2 seconds on the clock, not with .4, as we have, as the arena staff had already started coming on out to clean it up. Hold on, folks. We're not done yet. We're almost there. We're not done yet. So, yeah, this is going to be Powers and McNally on the face-off. All McNally really needs to do is just stick his skate forward.
More or less.
Just stick his skate right on the shooting line.
Which is dive in front of the puck.
I don't think he could even get down to the ice for it. So we'll see what happens here. Powers going to have to slap it right on the draw. And he tries it, and McNally dives on it.
Exactly what he does.
He just drops on the puck. As words are exchanged, as I think McNally took umbrage with Powers taking a slap when he was down, but what else is Powers to do? So big win for Hingham. Big mantelpiece win that could definitely come back and have tournament implications in 2.5 months or so.
Yeah, it might be a consolation game, but for these two teams and their designs on the playoffs, every point matters. You got to give Hingham a lot of credit here. The lone public school entry to this tournament, carrying the water for publics everywhere in the MIAA.
Yeah,
getting the victory over Catholic Central League foe St. Mary's, and should use this for a nice boost and some nice momentum going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Hingham, again, as you said at the top of the broadcast, a really rough year last year. This isn't going to be a rough year for Hingham this year. They got serious talent. That 8-9-29 line's very good.
They are.
Very good line.
They are. And Hingham had a very tough game in the first round against Malden Catholic. It was the 4-time defending Super 8 champion. I mean, most teams are going to have a difficult time with them.
Yeah.
It would have been very easy for them to come out in this game, really feeling down about themselves after that. But they came out strong at the beginning with an aggressive forecheck. I don't think they really had any sort of hangover from the prior game against MC, and I think they put on a very nice performance for themselves tonight that they can feel very proud of.
There's something to be said for that, especially considering that they had the longest bus ride. They had to do both days, and we've all seen bus legs affect teams. After that long ride, and Hingham came out, fresh as daisies, and they just took it from the jump. I mean, St. Mary's had the first goal, but it was all Hingham early, and they were able to pad that lead enough that they would stay just one step ahead of the Spartans. And for St. Mary's, another tough loss. They lost to BC High, at the beginning of the season. They lose to Hingham, 2 big games. They'll have plenty of big games left in the Catholic Central, but still, a big chance to get a non-conference win just slips out of their fingers.
Yeah, I mean, but, on the positive side, when they gave up the 2 goals 12 seconds apart, and they were down 3-1, then 4-1, it would have been very easy for them to basically give up and roll over and die. They didn't do that. They fought hard. They came back. They scored the goal in the deflection. They scored the power play goal to cut it to a 1-goal, game. When Hingham jumped out to the 5-3 lead, they scored a power play goal to cut it to 1 goal again. They kept it in doubt right till the end.
Yeah, it's kind of personified by Sean McBurney, who gets taken out for 2 shifts off of a very physical hit. Comes right back and gets an assist on his first shift back out.
Yeah, absolutely. So I tip my cap to the effort that they put on. It would have been very easy for them to just roll over about halfway through that game. They didn't do it. That's a credit to them. It's a credit to their coaching staff.
Yeah, 2 good teams. As they're giving out awards and post-game awards now. Yeah, to both sides. This is the type of matchup, I'm sure we probably won't see this game again, but I'd love to see this matchup again in about 5 weeks. And this would be, I think, a fun game.
All right. And ladies and gentlemen, the final score of this game is Hingham Harbormen 5, St. Mary's Lynn Spartans 4. Thank you for tuning in. The championship game is going to be following up here. It's going to be the Lancers of Malden Catholic against the Cougars of Austin Prep. Battle between a Catholic Conference League team and a Catholic Central League foe. Should be a very interesting game, very good game.
Always exciting when those two lock horns.
So we encourage you to stick around. We're anticipating a starting game time of 7:40.
5:40.
Sorry,
5:40. Hold on, we're not waiting that long.
Yeah, 5:40.
So for Andrew Greenberg, I'm Mike Abelson.